They look pretty darn good. I don't even know that I'm gonna bother redying them. Uh, I do have the kit that I got in the auto department at Walmart with the red in it for leather repair, but I don't even think I'm gonna mess with that. It came out so well. I laid some conditioner on after last night when we did the black marks. It just looks pretty impeccable. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And there's the little fringy tongue things. So I conditioned them on the front and the back. These boots were really dry. Uh, so got some laces. These are 72 round. I like to put fresh laces in used shoes and boots. It's much more impressive. Makes them look like a brand new pair of shoes. 72 should be long enough. These were, uh, let's see, total 268 at Dollar General. Dollar Tree didn't have anything but neon green. And I have a bunch of laces, like a big box of them somewhere in the storages. And I also have the stuff to make my own shoelaces out of anything. Got that somewhere in a box. Uh, so I'm moving stuff around right now, trying to incorporate storages. Now this is auto drive in the auto department at Walmart. They didn't even have it in the shoe department. And this is a leather care brush. It's real soft. It has little things so you can hang it on the wall. Okay, and this is $4.78 at Walmart for a real nice leather brush. So, and I got some Lysol over here. This is what we use on the insides. After you wipe the insides down and they're dry, you want to spray that in there to kill any germs or foot problems. Finally got the Pure Neats foot oil instead of the compound. This was 1604 total at the Tractor Supply. But this is the 32 ounce size. See the little one I have, a compound that I really didn't want. It's just about empty. And I've got a ton more leather to do. I got some jackets to do and it'll never make it. So let's see if we can throw a little shine on here even without shoe polish. Now I used to have a big wooden thing that I got with the Adams house. It was full of shoe polishes and all the stuff to do it with because um, the original Mr. Adams bought a shoe business back in like the 1900s and 18 or 1900s, I even ran across the receipt and everything for it. Um, and so all that stuff was there, and I had it for years, but it was stolen out of the other storages. So you take this brush, and like there's no shoe polish on here at all. And you just keep going on it. Now the best thing is pantyhose. Guy that worked for me in the salon, Charles Darling. He's a gay guy, and he lived with his grandmother. And he came in one day and he had some black, like military boots that were about like this. You know, shorties. These are like 10-inch. And they were like glass. And I said, are those, patent leather or what? And he was like, oh no, these are leather. And I said, well, why do they look like glass like that? He said, oh, my grandma taught me how to shine shoes now. And I said, well, what's your secret? And he says, pantyhose. A pair of used pantyhose, whatever, new ones. And apparently you put the shoe shine polish on there. And then you use pantyhose. And, I mean, they come out like glass. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Very impressive. So we're gonna buff these out. You're supposed to brush leather and suede anyway, to get the dirt off before you even work on them. And they'll look really good just to begin with. But it's a lot of work. I remember the old shoe shine artists like at the airports and stuff like that. When I was a kid, you'd see them and they were dirt cheap, and it'd be some elderly gentleman, and always very sweet and friendly. And he would occasionally get a customer to sit up in the chair. It would be like a barber chair. And he would work on their shoes while they sat there and read the paper or whatever. And then they'd pay them and then tip them. So the better shoe shine he did, the better the tip. You didn't have to take your shoes off. I'd much rather use pantyhose. I got a bag of them somewhere. I used to always carry them in the car so you could use them for a belt on the car. Like you blew a belt, but nowadays we have one belt drive and it won't work for that. If you blow that belt, you're stuck. The old days, you'd go 40 miles on one side of pantyhose. So you always kept spare pantyhose in the trunk. It was always funny when you see a dude with pantyhose in the trunk and say, what's that? I'd say, man, that's drive bills. Just in case. I went through the years where I started to, especially as one belt drive, to keep a spare one belt in the trunk for the car as soon as I got it, just to make sure in case it ever blew, I wouldn't be without. They say spit shine's best, but I'm not going to spit shine these suckers. If I had my old shoe shine kit, I would have had the red to wax these up. If you put that wax on, like with your fingers or some gloves, and put it all over, and then wait a little bit for it to haze, and then you use your brush. But we don't have any. I might have some of the storages somewhere, but I only have a little bit of stuff right now. With my luck, I'll run across it and go, man, I just thought I had that for the vlog. Somebody out there in YouTube land that can really do this well. But these come up impressively good for what I started with. They were really trashy. You should see the ones on eBay. They're so nasty. They don't even lace them up. They don't even put fresh laces on. They don't even wash them. Pictures are terrible. But it's a huge difference when you're working with leather, like $100 difference from that $20 you think you're going to make for some nasty shoes or boots or jackets or whatever you're playing with. Clean them up. Take good pictures. Get your measurements here to here, toe to heel height, your width, the height of the boot. These are all important things. Nope, I like it better this way. Nice little brush. Can you imagine who's brushing their car interior with a leather brush? This would have been so much better in the shoe department. But these come back pretty good. You can see they got so dry because somebody didn't take the time to condition them or anything. And you really need to do them once to twice a year. And it's okay to get leather. Suede is a problem, but leather wet. I'll usually wash them with some soap, gentle soap and water, or some saddle soap. And then they shrink back and moisturize and let them dry for about a week. You don't want to force dry them like with a hair dryer. It's really hard on the leather. And then, start conditioning them. I might have a truckload of conditioner on. Let it soak in. What is coming out impressively good. Looks pretty darn good to me. That's pretty good. That's what I say. Okay. Now the big trick is to lace them up. They look real good. About as good as it'll get. I mean, a lot of people like leather because it conforms to the body shape. You don't want to loan your stuff out because when somebody else wears it, it ruins it. And I used to do that when you sell leather dresses and two pieces and stuff, and jackets and booty shorts to showgirls, because they don't loan it to anybody. Like, why? Because they take the shape of the person. Just like a jacket will take the shape of the hanger. That's why you put it on a big thick hanger or a wood hanger. 72. These are rounded. You're supposed to use round on boots. I would prefer flat. It's all they had. And if they're too long, it's okay because some people like to wrap them around. So let's see. I think we're gonna go under Boy, I had a friend, I told you this before, I had a friend of mine, she had these in every color. I'd never seen so many different weird colors of boot. She had like pastel pink, hot pink, red, orange, baby blue, green, yellow, just all these weird colors made by Justin. That's the company that makes these, Justin. Justin. These are like 1980s boots. And I was like, man, where do you get these boots? She's like, every time they get a new color, go down and get them. But that was her thing. She liked dressing country and western. You know, when you move to the South, people don't wear this crap. They don't get dressed up like that. It's those little white pointed tennies like in the 1950s or 60s. And a Pendleton shirt and some Lee or Wrangler jeans. That's the style. And rarely will you ever see anybody with a cowboy hat. Have you ever seen people do these wild lacings? Throw a bunch of stuff. You have to have really long laces to do it. But you ever seen that? It's amazing. And honestly, I would have rather seen these lay a little bit longer. It only has one hole. I could have punched a couple holes in them. Have it go up and over. That way it's easier when I pull it to tighten it up. Now, I'll put these back here. Because these are like ice skates where they hook around. And when I photograph them, I may just stuff the laces inside to make them look nice and neat. Or I may tie them up or both. I'm going to do something here in a minute. Let's see. They're really nicely made boots, actually. Oh, there's a little boo-boo yaga on my little things. Thought maybe some of that nail polish or whatever it was. Maybe cleaned off last night. This one looks okay. Okay, where are we at now? Get a match. But yeah, I have this stuff. My neighbor Johnny Maples showed me something pretty incredible because I said, man, I need a special shoelaces if I could just make them. And because the girls were always out of shoelaces when I come to the clubs, and those big long shoelaces for the go-go type boots that people started wearing instead of stripper heel ones, because the girls are used to wearing tennis shoes and jeans. They couldn't walk in heels, so it was easier to get some big chunky heel go-go looking boots. And they wouldn't have anything that fit in there to tie them up with. So I started making my own shoelaces and selling them for pretty cool money in all different colors and sparkly and everything. Because I would go buy the cord and then I would make them. And Johnny taught me how to do the end bits because I'm like, I wish I could make my own shoelaces. So we did. He showed me. He said, why don't you try this? He just passed away, unfortunately. He was a neighbor of mine, a very good friend for years. Really sick of me. Okay, so we got them kind of wrapped out a little bit. They do look really, really, really good from what I started with. Undoubtedly, got my little heat spit oil. This is the top off a mouthwash. And what I'm gonna do, if I would have had my big tub of the card, which I'm still looking for, then I could just use that with a Q-tip. But I don't know where it's at. It's in a box somewhere. Okay. Now what we will do, I want to take and fit some down this. It's kind of wrinkly. That way, it'll still condition while it's, it's kind of on the shelf there. I gotta photograph them and list them. And I'll go on my retail shows. But in the meantime, it can condition and get these dry bits. It goes real wet. So leather will accept this stuff like a sponge until it won't accept anymore. It's like you can almost not use too much because it'll just weep out if you use too much. But I want to try to get this to absorb this as much as possible to get rid of all this wrinkly stuff. And it will keep it from cracking. Because that would be really terrible. I mean, it's according to where and how people tie their shoes. All that too is how it gets all these wrinkles. But see, it'll be a different person wearing these now. So they need to take the shape of that person. So get these wet. And these little wrinkles. Just let it go on in there. You can see it in the light. Little bitty wrinkles. And hopefully it'll just kind of absorb it up and poof it back out. Okay, there's that. We'll do this one. The more time you take with them, the effort, the more money you're going to make. I mean, these look just outstanding. If you look at one of the first vlogs, I was conditioning a bunch of shoes, you'll see. It's just outstanding difference. It's not going to hurt the suede back of this, you just condition it more if it touches that. just try to get as many little wrinkles as we can. So it'll still be conditioning, sitting on the shelf till it sells. I mean, they sell right away. They're really hard to get, these boots. Trust me. All the ones that are on there now are just trash. Because they didn't take the time. They think they're going to turn some money real quick, real fast. They're selling garbage. You see? So there you have it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to use that Lysol and spray down the top of those boots. Talk to you later. I love you.